Good morning, Par. It's been a while.
Good afternoon. Yeah, it
Dude,
has.
the 50-50. How long has this been on ice? Like, as long as the direwolves, or what's up?
Oh, we're bringing that up, are we? Your
Yeah,
dream come
direwolves are
true.
cool, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, you probably already know, but scientists have figured out a way to bring back and de-extinct, which is actually a real word, de-extinct, dire wolves. They're not like one-to-one dire wolves. They're like, I think like 98% there. So they
Right.
essentially took like direwolf DNA that we had, which is an extinct species. I thought it was just a Game of Thrones wolf, to be honest, but they took it and they recreated it and put it into an actual wolf. Now this wolf will grow to be about 6 feet tall or something like that. It's pretty cool, good stuff. And
It
now the
is
next animal
interesting.
they want to build up is a woolly mammoth, which hey, power to them. I'm all
Well,
about
I
creating
don't. Wait,
wacky
was it a
creatures.
woolly mammoth or was it a woolly mammoth mouse?
So they have recently successfully recreated a woolly mammoth mouse, but they said
Yeah.
that's like one of the stepping stones to doing a woolly mammoth. That's like their next big project. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And sometimes people are kind of I feel like this topic always brings people who are like, we shouldn't play God or we shouldn't do this or that. And if you guys know me, if you've watched like a previous 50-50 episode, I mean, I'm all about creating wacky things. Like if we want to bring like alien hybrid human dog people into existence, I say go for it, dude. And if let's say it turns out to be bad. Oh, they're bad for the environment. Just shoot them down, dude. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like the direwolves. People are saying, oh, the direwolves are going to mess up the ecosystem. Well, if they do, just, I don't know, blow them up. Why not? How about this? This will make everybody happy.
Uh-huh.
Whenever the direwolves are born, let's put a tiny microchip in their neck, implant it in their body, and if they start acting up, if they do destroy your ecosystem, blow them up. Treat it like the Suicide Squad. The
Hmm.
direwolves are bad. The whole nation wants them gone. All right. Boom. Amanda Waller presses the button. They all blow up. Easy as that. Everybody's
Yeah.
happy. Win win.
Yeah. Win-win. I feel like there's the when people are concerned about playing God, I don't think it I don't think they're thinking about the environment. I think
Like the
environment
morality
I
of
mean
it.
it's funny. It's funny because like people don't care about the environment, but I feel like a bigger concern is kind of like feel like Full Metal Alchemist comes to mind where it's like you wouldn't want to create suffering, and that is something that like we kind of do with the liger, for example, or like we've done it before where we crossbreed like dogs and actually, you know what's funny about the dog thing is that like they could use the direwolves. I think this is like the real application rather than like the marketing PR, is that like you can fix or reverse like the crazy breeding that we've done to dogs where it's like these some of these dogs are born and then they're just like born with like 50
Deformalities.
illnesses. Yeah, and they just like they can't breathe, like they don't, their lungs can't support their
That's sad,
bodies
bro.
and types.
Just put them down.
Right. And so like but people want dogs that are cherry picked like that, not realizing the the consequences. And so similarly like with the liger, it's like we created like this giant behemoth thing that like has to eat an absurd amount to sustain its body, and like it can't procreate and it might die like if you just like look away. And I think before we worry about the climate with playing God, I feel like again, to Full Metal Alchemist, I'm thinking that the I always forget the name. It's so cursed, but the dog daughter thing. It's like, bro, that shit comes to mind, and I'm like, dude, that's so sad. That's so sad. And I'm not even like a, I'm not even like a vegan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not out here like, oh, all the feelings and shit, but there is a weird line, I feel like. If they can't guarantee, you know, this, like, the livelihood. I feel like also the purpose, like, what's the purpose of direwolves? There's no
They're cool,
purpose.
dude. They're big dogs. Like, I don't know what direwolves are like in real life, but if they're like Game of Thrones, I'd want a direwolf. And I'm a cat person.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, like the Game of Thrones thing, but like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Cause
Is it?
like,
No.
yeah, I
They're
mean,
direwolves, Par. Like, imagine. Let's step away from direwolves. Let's say
yeah,
your son, God forbid, he loves unicorns, and he's like,
uh,
Dad, I want a unicorn. And instead of telling your son unicorns do not effing exist, you bring over a real unicorn, because guess what? They made one too. They genetically modified a horse into a unicorn, and now you can give your son this gift, and
mhm.
boom! Like, isn't that awesome? Isn't your son's smile worth 1,000 deaths and suffering people? I think so.
Mhm. Yeah, see the problem there is like, why the hell does my kid want a unicorn? The fuck? Where did
Exactly.
I go wrong?
Yeah,
No, that's my fault.
that's why I said,
You know,
God forbid, do you like you don't want a kid that wants a unicorn.
yeah,
They're
I
they're
feel
down the wrong
like
path.
see, I think that's the key right there, right? Like by I'm just an enabling parent then, you know what I mean? Like, the line, bring him the unicorn, that just enables him more. I should have beat his ass before he started thinking about unicorns like that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the problem. The line of logic here is just like, we're just enabling shit that shouldn't exist. But
But if you
direwolves are
can
cool.
do it, why not?
I think dire wolves are fine, okay. But also, like, I think we talked about this before, but like, this, it's just, this is marketing, right? Like, there's
Yeah,
like
they're trying to get funding.
billions, billions of use cases in between dire wolf and woolly mammoth that like this does make sense for it. It's just the headline and the marketing is kind of like, you gotta get that that enabling behavior. Where does that exist? Billionaires, the people that buy tickets to the Titan sub. Those are the, oh my god, you want a unicorn? Guess what? I can make one. That's where that money comes from, right? I get it.
Well,
I
okay, here's
understand.
a good question then.
Uh-huh.
How long until everybody could be able to afford a unicorn? Like, yeah, sure. You have to be a billionaire to get one right now, and a billionaire to get a dire
Mm-hmm.
wolf. But how long until it's easily accessible? Like, you walk into Walmart and you see like lines of cages, and you got unicorns, dire wolves, woolly mammoths, ligers.
See,
Like,
the
how
thing
long until the black market becomes affordable for every class?
See, I'm not bad at hypotheticals, but
Oh
I think
no.
before we see them as pets, right? Like, not pets, or like whatever commodified, novelty toy type of existence. This is where I personally feel like it would make sense to do some type of shit. I mean, they're already gonna do this type of shit anyways. It like, we can make like, what does a woolly mammoth taste like?
Yeah, see,
What
that's another
does
thing. We can use them as a food source. Like, there's so many great cases for why we should do this. Or
right
or, or
and
how about
see,
this? How about this? I
yeah,
saw this in a video game. I forgot which one it is. God forbid. I bad memory here. My memory's so bad. Well, not super bad, but I've been playing crossword puzzles a lot just to like boost my mind, boost my mental.
okay,
But
okay,
yeah. So how about this? We bring this non-existent life, person, animal thing into existence. Imagine he's the size of let's say, what's a good size? A size of like a department store. And this
uh-huh,
thing, this person, they're not exactly able to move. They can't do anything. All they do is breathe and exist, and they constantly grow. But they're like this giant sack of meat. So what could happen is that we could go in there and constantly carve them out and use that as an infinite food source, infinite meat. So we just go inside this guy, we cut him up, and then he regrows it within the span of a day. And then we come back tomorrow, cut him up some more, and then we just keep on using this guy, and we fix and solve world hunger.
What's funny about that, right, is I feel like I feel like
This is a great idea.
that's what I feel like I heard a story that this is what they do with chickens. Like they try to make, because like, you know, the bones get in the way of processing, so they make them like giant sacks of, you know, like less feathers, more meat, 7 wings. Like they're already doing it, and that's what I was getting at earlier, which was that like, you know, we already kind of like GMO, like that's literally what it is, except we're going from like the back end now. We're doing
Yeah.
we're doing back shots with the food system now. It's no longer let's make our ideal animal meat source. Let's curate the meat source from birth, you know. I guess like that's the same thing, but like it's a different direction, but it's
What's up?
it's one of those things that it's like kind of nasty, you know what I mean? Like
I mean, okay, but I would argue that where we get our food today is also kind of nasty by some regards, right? Like to some people's standards, most people's standards, if they went into a meat factory and actually saw what happened to animals, a lot of people would be like, oh, I don't know about those vegans, but maybe they cooked, right? Personally,
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with it. But let's say the meat farm. What if that does like solve so many problems? Like imagine nobody ever starves again. We get rid of one of the 4 plagues of humanity, famine. And all we have to do is have this meat farm. Would you be okay with it? Would you be like, okay, maybe this is like worth it?
Yeah, I feel
How about
like
this? How about you are the one who has to carve it though? And every time you go inside of this building, this guy, he screams, please, Par, I've had enough. I'm suffering. This hurts. And every day you're the one who has to carve meat out of him. But at the same time, you're also hailed as a hero. People around the world love you because you are feeding them. Would you be able to do it?
I am the meat god. Hear me roar.
Yeah, it's like Teen Titans. I always love using this reference, but it's like Brushogun, right? Brushogun had the ability to bring drawings to life. So what they did was they hooked him up to a machine and stuck him to a wall, and they just extracted his ability day after day. And then by the time we saw him, he's like, please kill me. Please. Put me out of my misery. Would you be able to extract meat from the meat guy? For the betterment of the world.
Yeah, why not? I feel like I could do it.
What about if this guy knew about your family and he's like, Par, please, you have people you care about, right? Me too.
Me too. Like
The meat guy tries to sympathize with you. Like every day he tries to convince you like not to cut him.
But like it would save the world.
Yes, this would be like a guaranteed. Like for some reason, every country got together and they're like, you know what, world peace. Even like we just want to eat together, brother. And then meat is free because of you. Everybody can eat for free. Not a single meal ever has to get paid for again. But this meat guy is just he is going through it, dude. Every day is just hell on earth.
And
this was like the trolley problem.
We made him.
We made him. We made him. And every day he's
Did
like,
I make him?
no. But But as the days go on,
I feel like if you made him and then I was tasked, and then I could do it. If it was like if we separated it out, like it'd be weird if I made him and I took him out. You know, then it's kind of like
yeah, no. Let's say I mean, you're Indian. Like, your family, they're a bunch of doctors. Like, they're the ones who made them.
oh yeah. Then I would hire someone else to do it for sure.
Okay. That's enough about the meat hypothetical. I'm curious now. Do you remember what we talked about last week? Because we had a topic off call that was so goofy, another controversial topic, that you said, and I said it too. We were like, okay, this is going to be a 50-50 thing. We got to like do research. We got to look into it. And then we got to talk about it some more. We didn't do any research, by the way. But
right.
I wanted to talk about it. Do you remember what it is?
I don't remember what it is.
Damn. It is.
Wait, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing crossword par. It is about the North Sentinel people. North Sentinel Island.
Oh my god.
Just in case you guys don't know what that is, it is a small island that exists out. I think it's like near India, if I recall correctly. Could be wrong. It's not that big. It's probably like the size of like a downtown area, which is, I guess that's kind of big in some regards, right? Depending on where you live. But it's a smallish island that like where 100 people inhabit it. But those 100 people are the North Sentinelese. And these guys are, you know, forgive me, y'all, but they are uncivilized. They don't know anything about technology, medicine. Hell, they don't even speak an accepted national language. These guys have had no human contact for many, many years. They love just swinging around trees, eating dirt. Well, that might sound a bit mean, but, you know, forgive me. They're not watching this video. They do not have internet. It's fine. It's fine. And they're known as
crazy.
They're known as cannibals. There have been recorded or, you know, rumors of cannibalism there because there's no real food, but they exist and they do not want to integrate with society. They've made it explicitly clear by killing everybody who comes onto the island. If you are an outsider and you go on that island, you are pretty much sentenced to death. They've killed a couple of people on record before, and it is illegal to go near that island because, one, not only would we get killed if we go there, but two, you could kill them because their bodies have not developed to the modern world. It's kind of like the natives, right? How whenever somebody from a different country goes over back in the old days, there's a good chance you bring your diseases that you're immune to and that you have no symptoms of, and you infect them, and then they all just get wiped out. And since there's only 100 of them and they have no real medicine, it's like a whole thing. But yes, the other day, the reason we brought this up last week is because there was a person who went there and dropped off a can of Coke. And because of that, he got arrested. Because, of course, like I said, you cannot go on that island. And me and Par were just laughing at it, talking about it. And then we also brought up this one guy, the most famous instance of somebody going to North Sentinel. I forgot the guy's name, but he was a Christian missionary. He wanted to bring the word of God to the North Sentinel people. But, of course, this idiot got killed. He went there and he said, guys, God, like this is amazing. He sent me to, he called it Satan's last stronghold. He went to that island to convert them, and believe it or not, they murdered him. And what's insane, I guess Par will bring this up, but yes.
Well, like, I forget if you mentioned the, like, where this island is. It's,
I guess, what is it?
It's in like off the coast of India.
Okay, yeah, it is. I think I said it was like it might be off the coast of India, but yes, it is off the coast of India.
And, off the coast of India. So
it's crazy.
This guy is an American guy from, I believe, Alabama.
Like Florida. Yeah, Florida, Alabama. Yeah, around that area.
Yeah,
the Bible Belt. So. And it's hilarious because me and Par did some research into this guy, and he's a complete goober, by the way. Don't feel bad about making fun of him post mortem. But apparently he trained to go to North Sentinel Island, and how his training went down was that he had people of his church pretend to be natives that do not speak the English language, and he came in as somebody who was trying to please them. So he went around like clicking his tongue, you know, trying to learn their movements. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, I think it's even funnier than that, which is which is he didn't do the training. He did do the training, but he didn't design it. The
Mm.
yeah, which is like it's so crazy how specific this training was, and like I pulled up the News Times article. Like this is stuff that was put in a documentary. There's like legitimate news on this. This isn't some like random BS that me and Sai just found on the outskirts of the internet. No,
It's an old story.
this is in like absolute, like if you guys ever want to laugh like randomly about something disconnected from life, Google this island and then you'll quickly find he's the main guy. I mean, given the fact that the indigenous people there, they don't want to be even talked about or seen. So this is the most famous guy of the island, essentially. I mean, technically he's kind of still there. Spoiler,
Yeah.
but
I think they ate him. And the
yeah,
reason it's funny, the reason we feel no remorse is because he's had multiple signs not to go there. He knew what they were, and he felt compelled to go there no matter what, and he died. And it's one of those needless deaths. And every picture I see of him, he's like this smug bastard. He's like smiling with like the North Sentinels. He's like, and then you see the North Sentinel people like like in the background trying to kill him, and it's like, dude. And the thing is that it's not like he stepped foot on the island and he died immediately. He had, I think, 3 interactions with them, and all 3 interactions ended very negatively, but he still made an effort to go there no matter what. It's just
and somehow
ridiculous.
he managed to be racist, like in the crazy, like there's racism and then there's stupidity and then there's this guy was on another level, like like again guys, he got trained for this moment. He goes there, gets 3 chances, and like by the third one he still is clueless. And I feel like the way me and Sai experienced this was we literally just opened up the wiki and we started reading this, and it was just bonkers when you read the thing. So like, so this is the first paragraph that describes his contact with the Sentinelese. It said in 2017, Chow participated in boot camp missionary training by the Kansas City-based evangelical organizations All Nations. So that's I've heard of All Nations. That's a normal thing, but apparently they they have a training program that, according to the News Times article, is a 3-week intensive secretive missionary training camp. Mary Ho, the international executive leader for All Nations, the organization, said that John Chow was one of the best participants in this experience that we've ever had. Like, I'm
Damn, they hyped
sorry,
his
what?
ass up, bro. He's like Gold Roger, brother.
Right, and this is what the wiki describes, because like, you know, we didn't do much research beyond the wiki, and I just pulled the New York Times thing. So this is what that was quoted. The training included navigating a mock native village populated by missionary staff who pretended to be hostile natives wielding fake spears.
You guys
What?
know me. I love roleplay, and all I gotta say is that I play a mean native. When it comes to,
Dude,
like a mean native hostile, my god,
like,
oh dude, I think that'd be kind of fun. But
I
in
just
reality, who comes up with this idea?
yeah, and I'm just kind of wondering also, it's like, surely surely you don't need to like have a general populace entry into a program. Like, how many indigenous spear wielding native villages are left to missionize, or whatever the fuck it's called? You know what I'm saying? Like this is like something you like you bring in, like, I don't know, the Peace Corps, and then they, like, you know what I mean? And then you also, like, obviously what this guy did was not recommended by the church. Like, that's where the line was crossed. Though when you think about it, they did give him the 3 week training, which is also like 3 weeks of what would you?
Yeah,
What do
three
you call?
weeks.
That seems so little for such a large task of like bringing religion to a village that like probably doesn't speak the same, doesn't have the like nothing, no commonality. 3 weeks, that's all you need though. 3 weeks intensive training. Do they teach you martial arts to deal with the spears? Like, I don't know I want to know what credentials he came out of this with. But
Yeah.
but this is the next line. It said that same year, 2017, he reported expressed interest in converting the Sentinelese to a friend, calling it his burden. And keep in mind,
His
guys, this
burden.
is a guy.
He was born to go to North Sentinel Island. Yeah.
This is a guy from Alabama. He's in Kansas City now, in Missouri, I guess, and he is like, that island in India, that's my burden. How
Here's the thing, man. I grew up around a lot of religious people. I mean, dude, I'm from Oklahoma. You know, there's a lot of religious people here. And I have nothing,
Yeah.
I have no problems with religion, but don't be this type of religious, right? Like, don't be like, oh, this is Satan's stronghold. I gotta go. This is what I was born for. Like, no, dude, like, leave him alone. Like, you know what? This is Satan's stronghold, sure. But you give the North Sentinel people another 20 years, they might not even be here anymore. Like, for all we know, they probably just got, like, the Black Plague. Like, this is a problem that I think will take care of themselves. Like, they're not long for this world, the North Sentinelese. Just let him go, brother. Let him go.
Yeah, that's what makes you wonder, right? Because it's like I think the burden was he wanted to save the people from Satan, right? And but then like, which that's again spoilers. We find that out later on. Allegedly, this is in that part was in the documentary, I'm assuming. But like it just okay. So your friend comes to you, hey Sai, you know me, I believe I'm a man of God, and
Hello, man of God.
I've been doing some deep seated reflection on my life, and you know, I've been wanting to turn it around, and you know, like, is heavy into drugs, and it's like, and you know, your response is
Beautiful
like,
story.
yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, like I just realized that like I have to go to the Sentinelese Island and I need to fix them. It's my burden. What do you say? Like, what's your next?
I mean, I tried not to surround myself with people like that. I mean that's just how it goes down. Like, I have a lot of weird friends, but
Yeah.
if they ever come to me with this idea, I'm like, all right, brother, like you gotta sort this out, man. I can't support it. Like, the thing is that I'll probably have like a beer with the guy and be like, hey, this is dumb, dude. This is, what are you on about? Like, you're being brainwashed at this point. But if they do it, I mean, low be it for me to stop them. I mean, like I said, the writing was on the wall. I don't feel too bad for him. You know who I do feel bad for?
Who?
The North Sentinel people. If I was in charge of the world, because I'd want to assimilate them. I want to see what they're cooking on that island, because we have no idea. Like, I want to see how they survive for so long without any contact. Are they like, you know, like, have you ever watched like Ancient Aliens, and they're like, oh yes, the Egyptians. You might wonder how they built the pyramids. Well, they had ray guns. They had anti-gravity technology. Like, what if that's the North Sentinel people? Like what if deep down in the woods they have like an entire subterranean factory?
Oh, you're cooking up a good movie right there.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that like not that it shocked me, but it low key sounded like a One Piece island. Which is that the way this island was like, they knew obviously this place was mapped whenever necessary. You know, it's not real, like it's not like it's in a trading area, I guess. You know what I mean? It's not like anything and there's no oil there. If it was oil, America would be there, right? Like,
Yeah, dude.
But like,
we take over. Shout outs.
but the way that like I guess like I guess the understanding of the boundary between the Sentinelese and the rest of the world was largely established after the 2004 earthquake and the tsunami. And so 3 days after the earthquake, an Indian government helicopter observed several islanders. So they were like, taking toll of damage, looking at the ocean, surveying if there's any, people they need to say it's a tsunami. That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
And so they go over and they see this island. And this island, this is a government helicopter. They were being shot at but with arrows and spears and stones. And I'm like, yo, this like it's just kind of like the way I'm seeing this is wiki, right? I want to talk to the people who are flying this helicopter. Was it actually a threat? Were they flying so low that throwing spears and stones? Oh shit! You know what I mean? Like, was it like that, or were they so high up?
There we go.
That they were that they were like, oh my god, get these guys in the Olympics, bro.
Yeah, like they're chugging it, and it like goes all the way to like North Dakota. Like, that would be crazy. Dude. Like, their arms, dude, put them in the NFL at that point. My God. They get a crazy pig.
Like, if that was the case, right? If that, listen, like, if that was the truth of it and the government was just hiding it, maybe John Chow was onto something. Maybe
he wanted to recruit Earth's strongest warriors for the Tournament of Power. Yeah.
Or there was like, he's like, no, there's something supernatural going on there. You know what I mean? Like, God, the Satan himself is buffing these dudes. We have to save them.
They have the fatal fuel from Alabasta in One Piece.
Dude, honestly, because okay, here's the other part, right? So here's the next line, because this is also crazy to me, but like in a different way. Because again, it's reliant on Sundar and Pandit here. Okay, in 2006 January, two Indian fishermen, Sundar Raj and Pandit Tiwari, were fishing illegally in prohibited waters and were killed by the Sentinelese when their boat drifted too close to the island. They literally got kid shanks. Like, they didn't make it to the island. They got killed in their boat. They got snuck. They're in a boat.
They got snuck, yeah.
With motors. Like, how do you get snuck by people, dude? Like I don't know about you, Sai. I don't know anybody who could swim up to a boat in the middle of the ocean and like bombard them like that. Like, is this Aquaman? Like, what's happening? Like,
it's funny you mentioned that, because I've read a manga that has that exact premise where like this cruise ship is sailing and then natives like invade it and they destroy the boat and then everybody like crashes on the island and then they have to survive. It's a really, I don't want to recommend, I don't want to say the name because it's very, it's not PG-13. It's essentially like a giant R simulator of a manga, but it's possible, man. Like, you gotta imagine, what if they weren't trying to sneak up on the boat? What if they were just fishing and they just fish by swimming out? Like, they don't have fishing poles because they don't know how to invent it. So instead they're like underwater. Like, no scuba suit. No, like they could have adapted to where they have gills even. These guys are crazy.
Bro, gills wouldn't do shit. You have to get on the boat. The thing is,
no. They have spider webbed hands.
Two dudes on a boat. This boat surely isn't that big, but like, what the? They had to be fucking, dude. Like, how do enough people come onto your boat where you die? You know what I mean?
Wait. Okay. Here, how about this? I know why they didn't see these guys coming. Par.
Why? Because they were coming.
Like, no. These, you gotta remember, these are natives. You know who else is native in sci-fi?
What?
The Predator. And the Predator is known for going invisible. Maybe these North Sentinel people can turn invisible. They have cloaking technology. And that is how they got on the boat without anybody seeing them.
So they have cloaking technology and they're super strong. They can toss spears and and they
And
can
have guilds.
1-man NFL
Yeah.
team. Like it's kind of interesting, but then they also have 100% KD, right?
Yeah, they've killed a good amount of people, but we haven't killed them, which now we're getting in a dicey territory part, but what would you do with the North Sentinel people? Would you just simply block off the island? Would you invade it? Or like would you, try to break bread with them? Like in your world, you are the leader of
Yeah.
Pangea. But North Sentinel Island is the one
Pangea.
last stronghold of Satan. What would you do?
I would, especially after Chow, I'd build a wall.
But
100,000%.
that's so much. Think about
This,
the money though. Like you play Team Fortress, right? You know all about resource management. That costs a lot.
you just said I have the power of the, like, I run the world.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
let's say you say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna build the wall," and then all of a sudden you have citizens revolting. They're like, "Par, you could have just given it to the civilians. You could have given it to us. You could have built, a better community in the area. You could have built a school, but you're building a stupid wall."
I created jobs. And those people who are complaining, they are now making my wall.
So you're a slave driver, is what you're saying.
That's not that's just how the cookie crumbles. You know what I mean? Like you talk shit, get hit, bro. That's what's happening right now. Because I don't know. It's kind of like sure if this island is too big of a, we can't build a wall around that. What can we do? You know what I mean? This is a testament to if Egyptians could build a pyramid, we can build a wall. It should not be that problematic. At least around
How
this
big
island,
is the
not like.
wall?
Well, see, here's the thing, Sai.
Because
a lot
if
of
they
people
can climb a
don't know.
boat, they can climb a wall.
A lot of people don't know this, but here, let me just double check. India's wall.
Does India have like a wall that competes with China's?
India has the Great Wall of India. I don't know if this is the one
I've never
I'm
heard of it
referring
before.
to. Yeah.
The Great
So
Wall of
this
India?
wall, actually, I don't know if it's this wall that I'm referring to. There's actually a second wall probably. But this is the second contiguous wall on the planet. It's hidden in the deserts of India. But India's wall. Let me just double check this one. Yeah, so I'm from Bangladesh, and India has the entire border is completely fenced off. That's 2,000 miles of fence. Like you can't. It's like an actual wall. Like they call it a fence and it's disrespectful, but it's like an actual wall. And it's manned too. It's like they defend it like actively. And that you give a lot of people. I don't know if people are in the geopolitics and that stuff, but it's interesting. But the fact that exists and this is in India, they're the second best at walls. Apparently, they could do this. It'd be disrespectful. We'd have the first wall around an island. I feel like that'd be motivation on its own. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just wall them out, bro. That's what the Sentinelese want too. They don't want us to go there, and we don't want them to come out necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about we take, this is a great wraparound, by the way. Like this is going to be a banger, but how about we get all of our experimental animals like the dire wolves, the woolly mammoths, and we send them to North Sentinel Island? Not to like take over, but just to like experiment and to give them a nice, conservatorium. I guess is the right word, wrong pronunciation. But yeah, like we could send them over there and just see how they would fare, and maybe we could even use this as a case of like, oh, like this is probably how it was back in the day, because these guys have no technology, right? We're assuming they just discovered fire. Like, I think this would be a great replica of what happened millions of years ago with the cavemen. Like, oh, like how will cavemen react to a liger? How will cavemen react to this thing, that thing? Like, we could actually make a good show out. Imagine Alongside the bomb microchips, we also strap cameras to the animals, and we could treat this as like a nice TV show, so we can play ads on it. Like, we could get a lot of money out of this. Like, people would, oh, dude, do you know how people like read JJK spoilers and they were like, oh my god, like they got the play-by-play on Twitter. People over here watching football. Like, imagine your wife or like a friend of yours knocks on your door and they're like, Par, did you see that? Did you see that North Sentinelese fight? Like, oh my god, like that Liger mauled him. Like, wouldn't that be so cool? And then it's betting, sports betting. Betting is becoming popular. I think they add another like almost $500 million every year. Well, more than I think like 500 billion actually, because it's like a $3 trillion industry. But it's only getting more and more extensive. Imagine betting on the North Sentinel people versus whatever humanity can cook up.
I don't know about going that far, but when you said like send an like a direwolf there to like test the waters,
Do you think they'd be
that's
really
not
confused? Like, dude, would they be like lost about what's happening? Because obviously they don't know that we can recreate animals. Like, they don't even know more than 5 animals possibly. Like, imagine airdropping a bunch of like out of nowhere. It could be like I don't know if you played that one simulator. It's like the battle simulator on Steam, where you could just like put like 1,000 Kung Fu Pandas versus 1,000 Norse warriors, and you can have like wacky matchups. Like, we could treat it like that.
yeah, yeah, we could treat it like that. See, I they it would be like an anime for sure. It would be like they would be living a crazy, like I feel like it would be, content is crazy. The here, okay, see, this is gonna get dicey from my side, but like, and we're content creators, so we're content brained, right? But like earlier we were talking about the direwolves thing, and I was just like, I'm not a vegan, but like, the sufferings, whatever. Um, do like, do you think that if someone were to make like a Mr. Beast-esque like us versus Sentinelese 1v animal, like how many people would be up in arms? Do you think it would actually like get, like if it was like a YouTube channel type of thing, some billionaires? Do you think it'd get canceled? Do you think there's like litigation?
Current day, modern day, yeah. There's a lot of people who would not like this idea. But if you're the leader of the world, why not just crack down on them, dude?
I get that, like, people would. I get that, but like a meaningful amount of people.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I mean, people would hate this idea. Like, I'm not like nowadays. Yeah. People would hate this idea. Like, you'd have protesters. I mean,
it's not a good idea.
My God, you'd have probably 1 million people out there saying, "Please stop it! Stop the Liger invasion!" Like, oh, dude, it would be so annoying.
Yeah, it's funny because...
Yeah, how about this? For everybody out there who does not like this idea, how about we just, like, put a button on the island in whatever language they have? We could even draw, like, images and just say, hey, if you press this button, we'll save you. But you have to, like, come live with us or something. You got to get integrated. How about that? There's a way out.
Yeah, but we'd have to teach them. We don't know what languages they speak, which that I want to get back to in a second.
We could put a pin
in the language part. But like, so the reason why I find it funny is because the way society has, at least the relevant part of society that deals with this situation, is that we're supposed to act like they don't exist, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, it's not like if we cared to not do anything, we would monitor it or we'd put up a wall, right? As it stands, there's probably a billionaire kid somewhere, a billionaire's son out there who's deranged or whatever. They could do this on their own money. I mean, like, this Chow guy made it there apparently at $400. That's it. The people got arrested, but like a billionaire, they could figure out their own way, get their own boat. They could do all this on their own, and like, and no one would ever know. No one would ever know. You know what I mean?
That
That's
is
what's
true.
like crazy about that, like the predicament that it is, because it's like, you know, like we care but we don't care, and then like if we care, that's wrong. And like, you know, we talked about this at the very beginning when we brought this up. It's like what do we, is it like, do we just leave them? Because the other part of it too is like they just had unlucky spawn, didn't they? Like their spawn points sucked
I
ass.
mean, yeah, sure, their spawn point sucks, right? Being born on North Sentinel Island. Like, imagine you could have been the son of like Hillary Clinton. Well, that's probably like a bad example. Imagine you could be like you know, out there in the world doing something else, but the other half is like you're born in North Sentinel. Like that's pretty cursed. But here's the thing, though, like they've been there for hundreds of years. Like they could have left. Like it's not like India's super far. Like I don't want to be that guy, but like a lot of the world made boats in the past. Like it's not like a crazy invention. Like they could have gone anywhere else.
If you're isolated and you just rely on fish, it would be, especially if your island doesn't have like that many resources. You know what I mean? Like if for example,
they're stripping the land. Like
if
it's
they
their fault
rely
at some
on
point.
agriculture, if there's like a set of trees, they need fruits and whatever food, that's what's sustaining them. They're not gonna cut down those trees to make wood if they don't know, like it might not be farming is
And
a
that's
thing
their
that
fault
they
for
could
not
do.
experimenting. I at some point they have to have responsibility for their own actions.
Like what I'm saying is like there are other places in the world where it's super indigenous, whatever, right? And in the past, it's not just colonization, but like the army would just run through and just run, like the Pacific Islands, like the U.S. military just, or Navy just ran through, landed on an island, set camp, ran through another island, and it's like, you know, if you were living there, you just got, I guess, put out your misery. But like what I mean is that they're so out of the way that like Genghis Khan didn't even know about their ass. You know what I mean? Like, and if they don't have the resources to get off, it's like, damn, like, like.
But nowadays, though, like we could have, if they wanted to leave, we would have let them leave. Like nowadays, like if they wanted to join society, that has always been on the table. But at this point, they're just so openly hostile that we just don't anymore.
Okay, so
we gave them way out.
It's hard to put what I'm saying into a rationale, but I'm saying it because it'll loop back, which is that like okay, when I think it would be a universal 100% unanimous agreement from, and you pick 100 people from anywhere in the world. I think that they obviously, anywhere in the world that's like you know, a part of the modern world. Obviously, you pick 100 Sentinelese and we're fucked in this hypothetical. Outside of there, you ask them, is our life objectively better than theirs? Right? I feel like
it's a yes.
100%.
Yeah.
I think without a doubt, there's not a single, you know, person that would, and it, like, I don't know, maybe that's a litmus test to put them like in some kind of kooky house or something like that. But like, point is that there are kids being born on this island and they're being subject to an objectively worse, possibly like barbaric lifestyle. And for much less, we go in and we're like, all right, not the kids though. And like, I'm not saying this is the scenario, but like, you know, like I was reading, there was something that happened like Connecticut the other day where it was just like this 30-year-old kid, or 30-year-old guy kid, he was held hostage, like
by his parents,
he was kidnapped. Yeah, you heard that story.
Yeah.
And like the circumstances are obvious. They're feeding him, they're doing whatever, but like we'd go in and save his ass, right? Like that's they're holding him in place, they're holding him against their will, you know what I mean? I'm like, at what point do we consider like what to be on the Sentinelese island, like not like inhumane, you know what I mean? Where's the Geneva record Accords? Isn't that like universal? I guess it doesn't apply to them, but like, you know what I mean? And so the reason I brought that up is because in a weird way, maybe that's what John Chow was. Josh Chow? I don't even remember his name anymore.
Something like
Chow.
that. Yeah, Chow, Mr. Chow.
That maybe that, like, to be fair, right? Maybe that's his logic. He was like, this is inhumane. Like, this is the last battalion of civilized society, right? And that was his burden, right? I feel like he could have convinced a lot more people if he framed it the way I just did, but instead, this is what he said. And we're closing on time, and I just wanted to get this note out. I don't want Josh Chow. Let me get his name right.
You don't have to get his name right. He doesn't deserve that much respect.
We'll go with Jack. That's his acronym. Let's go with Jack. Here. Over good old Jack. He said, he got vaccinated, he quarantined for the trip, all that stuff. And he went to the thing, as I said, this is Satan's last stronghold on Earth. Specifically, Chow expressed a clear desire to convert the tribe and was aware of the legal and mortal risks he was taking by his efforts. Writing in his diary, Lord, is this island Satan's last stronghold,
Yes,
where
God.
none have heard or even had the chance to hear your name? The eternal lives of this tribe is at hand, and I think it's worthwhile to declare Jesus to these people. Please do not be angry at them or at God if I get killed. Don't retrieve my body. And those were his essential last words.
Yeah, he's like, don't blame the North Sentinel people if I pass away. Don't hold that against them.
Which is like, do you like? It's a noble cause. See, this guy in some respects could be considered like a martyr.
Nah, I don't want to. No.
So obviously I'm joking here, but like this is I think my favorite part, because this is the last thing we hit on when we were about to hang up, and I just like I couldn't hang up because I was just busting out laughing. He had been there a few times, as I said. I think on his second trip or maybe third, he said Chow recorded that the islanders reacted to him with a mixture of amusement, bewilderment, and hostility. Keep in mind, he doesn't know what they're saying. He doesn't know the language. He attempted to sing worship songs to them and spoke to them in Kosa, which, for those of you guys who don't know, is from it's a language in South Africa or Southern Africa, and it's the stereotypical one that we when you think of like the clicking, the like that one.
Yeah.
He just assumed that, and he's been there multiple times, that they spoke a South African language. and honestly, now I'm confused about the reporting, because I'm like, did he actually learn? This is a guy from Alabama, learned to be a missionary in a native place just this year, in the 2017, the same year, and somehow knew Kosa. Okay, I might be pronouncing it wrong. And but my favorite part is the reaction that was recorded. Said that the Sentinelese just fell silent when he started clicking, as if he was like, the deranged one. Which, in all regards, like, what do you think, Sai? Where would you rank in terms of like sanity? I think he's been below. They're more sane than he is. I
feel like they have more common sense than him. I mean, thinking this would work. I mean, I just have no idea how you get there, man. To that point in your life. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, and apparently they started Other attempts to communicate, such as echoing the tribesmen's words, ended up with them bursting into laughter, making Chow theorize that they had been cursing at him. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, bro. They were just making fun of you. You're cursed. That is the conclusion there. But as you guys know, the ultimate conclusion was he went there for a final visit, in November of that year, and the fisherman that he told to abandon him saw the islanders dragging his body the next day, and that they were burying him on the shore, which kind of makes it sound like, because burying is a very interesting like tradition, especially you got to think like on an island too, right? Like just toss it in the water, right? Like I guess it's fertilizer, but like maybe it was an accident. Do you think like they were like, oh damn, we killed Chow, or Chow died? Do you think something like that happened, or do you think they like, because they didn't eat him, they just buried him there?
I mean, you never know what kind of disease he has, right? I think it's smart that they didn't eat him.
That's true. So these people are pretty instinctive.
Yeah, you think so?
I mean, like food landed on your island and he just dies.
They held
and
back.
It's like, yeah. And if he just died, then yeah, like I wouldn't eat. Like if a cow came onto my property and it was there for a day and then just died, I'm not eating it either. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they had good. Yeah, I think they made a good choice. Like, I'm not too well versed in what diseases we could transmit to them if they were to eat us, but I like to imagine they just wouldn't survive that.
Yeah.
And then who knows? Like, if they eat Chow's brain, they might actually, inadvertently digest the brain worms he had.
Yeah. This, I mean, we'll never know if he had brain worms because, it's
we'll never get his body back.
Yeah, we will never know.
Which I guess now I gotta say this, but like, guys, what would you do to North Sentinel Island?
They
Let us know
killed
down
an
below.
American. Keep in mind, they killed an American.
I see the Sentinel people, right? I think there's a reality where you can't just leave them alone, but it's like one of those unchecked. I mean, Sun Tzu, if he was around, Sun Tzu would all be about like reconnaissance, like keeping tabs on them. Got to make sure they don't do anything too crazy. Like, I don't know. And here's the thing, like, if you guys are of the mindset that the North Sentinel people are completely innocent, they're like a protected nation, that's fine. And if you're offended by what we've been saying, that's cool too. So let's change it out. Go back into your memory. Instead of us saying that we would do things to the North Sentinel people, imagine a different island. There is an island out there in the world that is filled with only pedophiles. Put them in the crosshairs instead. Use Control F and just replace it. And I think nobody would have a problem with that.
I think like it's one of those things. It's so random, but like it's I was just thinking when I was saying like they killed an American, like if the cartel, like because here's like an example, right? Like I think you and I would both kind of maybe like depending on the circumstance, obviously it would be serious, not serious, but like if you're going through, I don't know, what's the place, Tijuana in Mexico, like a heavily known, I don't know if Tijuana's cartel, but like, all right, Colombia, you're going through Colombia, right? And Colombia is kind of like a stereotype for a thing.
Oh my God.
I think Bolivia is more of a, okay, whatever, Peru, Bolivia, whatever the place, okay, a cartel place. And you're going there, and there's like advisories. There's advisories. The government says not to go. It's honestly like illegal to go into some places because it's not safe, right? And the person goes there anyways, and they get captured by the cartel. And then we get like the video, the ransom, and then they're killed. If they get killed, the cartel knows that if they kill them, an American citizen, the U.S. Army will do something. Like, I don't know what that something is, but it happened. I think this year even, where like a few people were let loose, and it's like, honestly, they wouldn't. What would I mean? Like, we're part of the cartel too. Whatever, you know. But the point is that like it's crazy that like we wouldn't go after the Sentinelese, even though how deranged this guy is. Like, are we saying that like it's the same thing? I don't know. I honestly, I'm not too sure. Like, we were also talking about like there's a certain demographic of people, category of people that just like don't believe that war exists in the rest of the world. Like, cartel aside, like they'll just travel through an active war zone and then just die. And it's like, like, yeah, pardon me for not having sympathy for like them not opening up, I don't know, CNN, Fox, like any of the news things. I don't know, Google. Hey, if I'm going to a place, I'll usually Google it, and I'm not usually the one to be like, nah, Google's like all of it's
Yeah.
fake, you know. So it's like one of the, at least with the Jack guy, Chow, like you couldn't Google too much about Sentinelese, but it's like, damn, like now I think about it, like, do we treat the indigenous people like a cartel? We're giving them more rights than the cartel, even though they killed an American.
And the thing is that like some of the reasons why we don't attack like the cartels are people that kill people from our nation, and I feel like this is true for a lot of other nations as well. But it's because of the risk associated with it, right? Like, oh, like we could go there and stop them, but we might like die, right? Like we might lose more people in the process, and that's always a problem. You don't want to lose more
set
people
off
than
like
we lost
more
already.
aggressive,
Yeah,
like reaction from them, and then you know, like they kill a village in retaliation or some shit.
But here's the thing.
Hit him with it, Sai.
We would lose nobody if we attack the North Sentinelese. Like, not even America.
You know
like, put a different country in the cross. Put my country in there, Laos. Use the Laos army. I think we would win.
You know how embarrassing it would be if we lost a single person.
Yeah.
A single person. I feel like you could send the average, like, no, okay, not the average. Okay, actually, no, perfect demographic. I think that you could arm with real guns the airsoft pro players. Like, you get send them with real guns. They have to win. If they lose, I don't know what we do. There has to be some kind of like punishment for humanity if we lose a single person in any form of action against them. It would be so embarrassing. But here's the thing, guys, keep in mind, these people threatened a helicopter with rocks, spears, arrows. They had bow and arrows. They have that. And they managed to take over a ship. Like, that's crazy. Not even the Somali pirates are that successful. These guys have 100% KD.
We gotta change it.
That's wild. Yeah, like, you know, I feel like, you know, behind closed doors, Sai had more of a military mind. He's like, nah, this is disrespectful.
You know, I have some. I mean, I'm not. See, that's why I'm glad I'm never put in a leadership position, because I'd make some really bad choices. But the thing is that if you've seen the videos of Jonathan Chow, Joshua Chow before he got killed, the North Sentinelese, they're kind of malnourished. It goes back to what you said, like, how is their condition of living? And it doesn't seem it's all that great. So I genuinely do think that if you were to put a North Sentinelese in the ring with like a random Laos person, I think they would win in a hand-to-hand match. Maybe if they use like spears and rocks, I feel like the North Sentinelese have like an affinity with that. Like, they get like a 10% stat boost if you put like rocks in the arena. But
yeah, like
base level, I think the average person could just beat a North Sentinelese. It shouldn't be that insane. So.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure maybe do you okay this is probably the last thing, but if we sent on the flip side, right? Yes. No weapons. Okay. We send 4 UFC fighters like John Jones. I don't know if you know UFC fighters.
Yeah. Okay. I like
Do you know
this.
like UFC fighters' names?
Not really, but I could imagine. I can put I can create a mental image of a great UFC fighter. So go for it.
Okay, okay. Do you know the Dagestanis?
What the hell is sure. I'm gonna look it up while you're talking about him.
Okay, so the Dagestanis are like the most
Dagestani fighters.
successful region in the world in training like martial artists. What? Why are
Yeah.
you laughing?
I typed in Dagestani fighters and I just see like 7 guys all holding belts and they're like jacked. And I'm just
Yeah,
imagining
yeah.
these guys going to North Sentinel Island.
That no, literally. I think if we send Khabib is the main, well, his dad, but like they
Yeah.
are, they're like if they the League of Assassins from Batman. That's what that's there. Like they literally Dagestani where they train, it's on a mountain. And so like when they started becoming successful in the UFC, people were like, "What's the secret? What's the secret?" Blah blah. And it's like, just come to Dagestan, come there, train there. And it's like, what's so special there? Well, obviously, like most American brain people, it's like traveling expensive, whatever. They're like, bro, it's like you could live there for like $20 a month or something, like not that cheap, like $200 a month, whatever, right? And so now there's a lot of like people training there, but them training on the mountain, they're the logic, and it's not flawed logic. They're like, the air's thinner, it makes it harder to breathe, so all of our 10 times, it's like, and they have like broken English, so it's just everything that they say is way more epic. And so you send the Dagestanis, 4 maybe 5. I think they take out this North Sentinel. I think they have to. I don't think maybe they get hurt a little bit because it's like hand to hand, but I think they take it. I think they definitely have to. Like, and then we'll throw in some heavyweights like have you, like, I don't know if you ever seen like the heavyweight Olympian like wrestling people. Those guys are like Thanos, bro. It's insane. And like I think 2 of them are Russian. Oh my god. I don't even know their names, but they're terrifying. They're the type of people that they should build a wall around those people. Existing that big and that scary is not it's not public, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should put them on the North Sentinelese Island.
I agree.
And yeah.
I like that. I think we could get really wacky with it. Just send a lot of fighters to North Sentinel Island and just see how many it takes. Like, I don't know.
How many
Like,
it takes is crazy.
no, that'd be cool. Like treat it like Raditz going to Earth. Like where Raditz
Yeah.
is, like he goes just send one Dagestani fighter, and the minute they lose, right? Because there's like 100 of these guys, but let's say he loses, but it's like an extreme diff battle, 1 versus 100. He loses near the end. And then the Dagestani's like, hey, in 2 years, more Saiyans, more people of my race will show up here. You have that long to train, North Sentinelese. And then of course, like the Nappa, the Cybermen, and Vegeta, they're like the rest of the Dagestani. And then they show up on North Sentinel Island with Aura. It's like Jin Woo going to the Jeju Island.
Yeah.
That's what it'd be like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
man.
No,
Yeah, it's interesting. But of course, to keep it humane, they have a button that will peacefully extract them from all danger. No questions asked.
The protector
in the hypothetical. Yeah. Yeah. We don't want to be too brutal. People might not like it, but there's a button there, guys, that will extract them at no cost whatsoever, and they will be taken care of. But if they stay, they die. Or get attacked by
heartless
the
guys.
Yeah. They get attacked by the Dagestani.
Yeah. That's
Well, shout out. So this might be like the most controversial 50-50 episode. I love it.
Yeah,
which is funny. Because I was about to say, like, off call, we said even more egregious things, but I feel like for the YouTube video, we like very much toned it down.
Well, I feel like we talked about it more than we did now, but also like, that it's just, I feel like it's just it's a movie you watch one time. You know what I mean? Like rewatching, the rewatch value for us, at least on like reading this thing, it's like there's only so much silliness that you can tolerate, and that's why we like moved away from Jack here. I'm not gonna even remember his name. Like that's how silly this guy. That's what's. I think that's like what I'm trying to avoid, the embarrassment to say that this guy is like, you know, like think about it, guys.
We
This
sent
guy,
the most peaceful contactors known to man. Like, not besides Julian, like we sent many people to just try to talk to them, and they've just always been super hostile. Like, at what point is like, I'm not trying to say enough is enough, but like, at what point do we build the wall? Like you said, right? Like,
oh, I'm not even. No. I'm not even talking about the Sentinelese. I'm talking about John Chow. He. Think about this. You get into a like a court case with the police, and you have to be judged in front of your peers. This guy could be he could be called to jury duty. That's the shit that pisses me off.
that
You know what I
is
mean?
true.
I'm like that's where it's like, bro, like these stories, sometimes I just like, I have jury duty soon, and I'm thinking like, how do I know that the guy next to me isn't the type to go, you know, that island, that's my burden. Like, they don't ask you that when they tell you, like, they interview you for the thing. They don't
I
ask
think
you
you're
like,
cooking.
what is your insane take? Because that would be if I was a lawyer, I'd be like, do you have an unreasonable desire to go to the North Sentinel?
It's just a reminder, like dumbasses exist everywhere, dude. Like, who knows? Maybe your next door neighbor is a what's his name again? Like Josiah Chow.
What? Where did Josiah Chow come from?
His name gets more and more distorted the longer we go on, but that is what we do have to call it, guys. Let us know, what would you do with the North Sentinelese? Were you offended by this episode? Do you agree with this completely? We would love to know all your thoughts down below. As per usual, shout outs to the 50/50 coming back with bangers, by the way. I mean, we could have played it safe and talked about, I don't know, vegetables or love, but instead we brought up North Sentinel Island.
Vegetable or love? That's a
Stay tuned for the next 50/50 episode where we talk about the couple that got killed in Tajikistan. That'll be fun. You guys have a good one. Peace out, y'all.
peace.